I think what they're going to look to do is take the two of these, John. You're going to take the UFC and you're going to take WWE. And as soon as their deal with Peacock expires and the ESPN deal expires, I think they're going to shop both of these to like Apple, to Amazon, and they're going to take that deal to them and say, hey, I think both of these units together can be packaged. You guys will have exclusive rights for an annual or maybe even longer rights than that. But then I think they'll get anywhere between $4 to $6 billion. Because if you think about it, right, the NFL for 10 shitty ass NFL games on Thursday night. One game, $1 billion for 10 shitty ass games.
And you think, Josh, that's $100 million per game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But and it is the real question here is like Endeavor's going to have, a fantastic, product, if you want to say, that's obviously different shows and everything, but they're in control of the two biggest types of fighting or sports entertainment with the WWE. But the real question is this: ESPN has turned away WWE multiple times because there was a thing about, would they do it? Would they not? And they never did it. And you got to figure the WWE's been on USA, all the different networks there are out there, and then finally Fox. The UFC's been good for ESPN, but the ESPN's been great for the UFC also. The deal they had with the pay-per-views and everything, it kind of changed the way that they could look at their contracts and what they needed as far as making certain fighters happy and stuff. It was not near as critical because they were guaranteed a certain amount of money. Well, now if they do try to shop these two together, is it really taking ESPN out of the equation? Because ESPN's been great for the UFC. Fantastic.
I don't think it does. I think the ESPN will be more like-minded and open-minded to this situation.
You think so?
I really believe so. I know that it's not considered a legitimate sport, but I do believe the numbers, and that money speaks. I think because they're packaging them together, that I think, and look, and ESPN actually had a lot of coverage of this leading up to this WrestleMania. They were talking about it a little bit on ESPN.
They talk about it every now and little things.
Yeah,
they do.
But that's not something they've done. I think that they're hoping, that to be in the conversation when it comes to restructuring the deal. Once they're off Peacock, the WWE, and once ESPN's deal with the UFC is up, they want to try to probably package it together through Endeavor and see what they can do, what numbers they can come up with. But I really believe, obviously, Ari's a very smart person, and he's done a fantastic job with not just the UFC, but also with the WWE now coming up. They expect him to do big things with this. But I look at him shopping it to companies like Apple, companies like Amazon.
Amazon and Apple are the two that I thought right away that's where he's going to look and say.
You say that, John, but I think here's the other thing. Or you should expect companies like YouTube. YouTube has their own TV as well. People forget that. Yeah. They've got all the sports stuff on there. Don't expect them not to be in the market, because they were in the market, I believe, for Thursday and Sunday night football, or maybe it was just Sunday. Yeah, they were in the market for that, and they had came up with some big numbers, and they were close to getting it. So I wonder if they're going to end up going full-fledged on the UFC and going full-fledged on the WWE, packaging it together. And I could see them getting anywhere between $4 to $6 billion in that market there. I don't know. It really just depends. I mean, the two together, I would say for $4 to $6 billion, I would say probably a 2-year deal.
2 years?
Yeah.
That's $3 billion a year?
Yeah, I think so.
Holy
I mean, that's if you pay. Yeah, I think maybe even more, to be honest, if you're going to package it. And I'm just giving you numbers off the top of my head, and everyone knows I'm not good at math if you guys watch this show. So, but John, you know how I am with my money. I'm very frugal with shit.
So you're not bad with your money.
I'm cheap. I'm cheap when it comes to certain stuff.
Okay, we didn't talk about cheap. We said
except for buying drinks at fucking hotels in San Jose. Jesus.
Holy shit, dude! It's no better in frickin' Pachanga.
Oh, it was horrible.
Dude,
it was horrible.
$100 for 3 drinks.
I know. It was, like I said, I bought here in San Jose at the hotel. I bought about 15 drinks, and it was $600. Insane. insane.
I told you the one time I was in New York and I bought a round of drinks for, the crew. Talking 6 drinks, $380.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, that's it.
I get so used to like when we're at like Mohegan Sun or where we're at like in St. Louis or wherever we're at.
You mean a reasonable place?
Yeah, and you go and you buy drinks and it's like, okay, $200 for say 13, 14 drinks of people, right? It's like 200, okay. 220, somewhere in there all day long. Anyways, back to the Endeavor. I think this to me is I think it's going to end up working out to be a really good deal. And I don't think not just for the WWE, UFC, and Endeavor. I think for the fans, you're going to get some crossover. The UFC fighters will start to kind of cross over a little bit.
Believe that.
Not right away.
No.
Unless
it's someone who's up from the past. I can see a Cormier, getting his opportunity. Absolutely. He already refed a fight, right?
Yeah.
So
he's real into it too. He's a nerd when it comes to him.
Stuff.
King Mo, those guys, they're nerds when it comes to the WWE stuff.
Yep.
I could see some crossover, and I agree with you. More to say from the UFC fighters into the WWE. Absolutely, you're going to see some of that. You may see 1, maybe 2 somewhere down the line. Not now of the WWE guys maybe trying to come in to the UFC, but I also think if that does happen, the UFC will definitely do a better job of trying to take care of them instead of what they did to CM Punk. They kind of threw him to the wolves a little bit. They gave him guys that could really fight. I'm sorry, but
I'm not going to go with you on that.
Really?
I'm not. Okay, all right, stop. I want you to
tell me Sage Northcutt can't fight?
Sage Northcutt never fought him.
Oh, who is
Mickey Gall?
Mickey Gall. Sorry, Mickey Gall.
No,
Sage and Mickey fought.
Mickey Gall had 1 professional fight.
Mm-hmm.
1.
He's pretty good now, though.
I'm not saying he's not.
Not a bad fighter.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you. But when Dana went and watched him in New Jersey, he gets on the mic and says, "Hey man, I'll take on your CM Punk." And so it's like, the kid's got 1 fight. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like they took someone off the normal roster and put him against CM Punk. Yeah. It's just that, look, CM Punk is a great entertainer. Yeah. He's not a great fighter. And there's just a difference.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with you on that. He is. He's a good entertainer. He's, wasn't meant for fighting, but I think you're going to see eventually down the line, you'll see some of those pro wrestlers, they will have a little itch that needs to be scratched and they want to give it a try. And I think the UFC will work around them a little bit.
Well, I don't think you have to work around too much because you have the same company with all those contracts. So you can go.
Well, you got to remember,
really not a whole lot you have to do.
Yeah, but they've got to be still kind of work.
Well,
with each other.
And this is the whole thing. Well, in one aspect, anybody coming from the UFC has to be kind of protected if they go to the WWE, because it's the same thing as, okay, let's take a look at the real world. Cain Velasquez fights Brock Lesnar and destroys him. True? Wins the championship in the UFC. Yeah. And as soon as he went to the WWE and they put Brock Lesnar across from him, what happened?
Yeah, Brock won.
Yeah. And so because they have the ability to predetermine who's going to win, if you're coming over there, you can't just let them ruin you.
No, I get it.
By doing that. Now, the same thing in reverse is if you're a WWE guy and you do go to the UFC, they can't put you against. They have to put you against, a guy like they did with CM Punk, a young guy. But it's going to be a real guy no matter what.
Yeah.
And how if you end up with the same result that Phil Brooks, CM Punk had in that, how bad does that hurt your character and your reputation in the WWE?
I mean, what happens if he gets a win?
Yeah, that's not happening.
John, you never know, man. That's the thing. You're taking the CM Punk situation.
Exactly. Now, if you take someone that's like a Brock Lesnar, a Jake Hager, someone that's got an amateur wrestling background, different.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
I said down the line. I'm not talking about just a regular, normal pro wrestler. I'm talking about someone that actually has the itch to really want to fight, that maybe has a good wrestling background.
Actual athletic competition
I wouldn't be surprised.
That is relative to fighting.
I wouldn't be surprised if you have Bo Nickel over there in the WWE, right? He's going to want to go over there. Now, if he has friends that maybe are, that are in the WWE, want to try to make their way over. I mean, like you have Shayna Baszler was over there, right? Like there could be some crossover. That's what my point is.
Absolutely there could be.
I think you're too stuck on just one person. I'm thinking someone that has some experience, that had wrestling background or maybe some Taekwondo style background, whatever it is. They've got some sort of athleticism. That group of WWE stars, they're athletic as hell.
Oh, absolutely.
And so they can make the transition with, say, a year or two of them getting the itch.